story. This is a uh, this is a story about Shri M. For the people who do not know, he comes from a Nath pant, and he was a born Muslim. And events happened so that he went to the Himalayas as guided by his guru, and he met his guru. And the story is connected to his past. And if we cannot tell, I mean, like if people, it will be hard for people to comprehend such stories, because these are the stories which include past life. And I will leave the viewers to discretion, their own discretion, and they can draw their own conclusion on this. But it is connected with his past. So the guru he met was assigned to him in his previous birth, and there was some fault that he did in his past life, because of which he did some he misbehaved, or you can say he didn't listen to, or didn't try to understand Muslim faqih who came with a lot of dedication to him, and he was a born Brahmin in his past life. So in this life, for this reason, his guru punished him, that you will born in a Muslim family and you will understand the pain that they go through on their journey, spiritual journey. And for this reason, but in any case, he belonged to Nath Panth. So he because then he realized in his past life that what a blunder he had made. So his guru said, okay, I'll give you a master for this life, you will have a master, but that will not be me. And that master that he had in his past life was, according to the autobiography of a yogi, it was a Mahavatar Babaji. But Shri M used to, and the Nath Panthis who know him, they call him just Babaji. And so again, he had this guru in this life, and he came to visit him when he was a child. And then somehow his curiosity was so much that he left home around when he was 19 years old, and he left to the Himalayas, where he found his guru. And from there his journey, spiritual journey began, and he learned a lot of lessons from his guru. But whatever it is, I just gave a brief background about him. But right now I'm going to tell a very interesting story about his past. So it is one of the chapters from his book, the book called A Sequel to Apprentice to a Himalayan Master. And he has written, there are vast streams of consciousness still undreamed of, vast ranges of experiences like humming of unseen harps we know nothing of within us. D.S. Lawrence. So the stories are difficult for people to comprehend, but in any case I'll go, because this is something which is very close to my heart. I love this story. In this story it is interesting because he meets somebody who I love the most. So he's in his past life, in one of his past life, he was born as a daughter to a Rishi Muni in the jungles. So this Rishi Muni used to belong to the Dronacharya family, and there were different rishis in the past. It was not just only the sannyasis, and they used to get married and they were in the ashram. Like we have labs and schools over here. The scholars at that time were either called rishis, munis, or things like that. And they had they were great scholars in different subjects like math, science, and maybe war techniques like archery or horse riding and martial arts of that time. So they were very good at it, and so this rishi was very good at these war techniques, war art. So when his daughter Indumati, that is the past life version of Shri M. So this Indumati was born. At that time, while giving birth to Indumati, she lost her mother. So this Rishi taught her daughter everything, like horse riding. She learned riding over the horses, wild horses, archery, and war techniques and everything. And she grew into a really fine girl. And she was brought up in the jungle with the help of other Rishi Muni's wives and all. But then his father one day said that my time is coming close and I want to go to Vrindavan, and I want to meet, there is an avatar born. So there is a Vishnu avatar born there, and he wants to see him, and maybe he might not be able to make this journey all the way, and then so his daughter should complete that journey and reach there. So on the way, as he suspected, he falls sick, and he knew that he won't make it. So he told his daughter that you should go ahead, you just leave me next to the river, try to take me to next to the river, and I'll go with the flow with the river, I'll take samadhi and stuff. And so he took his last breath on the river bank, and he visurged himself into the waters of that river. I think it was Yamuna river. Then she continued, and her father told her that you go to Vrindavan, there she will find a disciple of her father, and they do not have any children, and they will, if you mention her name, his name, her father's name, they will keep you happily. So she went to the Vrindavan, and she tried to find that house, and when they came to know that she was their guru's daughter, they kept her very happily, and they didn't had any children, so they were very happy about keeping her. And she was a grown-up girl of around 16 years old. And so at that time, she told the mother figure that she was told by her father to meet Vishnu avatar, Krishna, that is born. And the description that she gave, so it was a dark complexion, handsome youth, and things like that. So that lady, she was her name was Chandrika. So that lady Chandrika, she chuckled, and she was like, okay, I mean, I don't know if he's a avatar or not, but my husband says he's a avatar. For me, he is so dashing, so beautiful, and his flute music is so enchanting that every night we go and see him, all the gopis of the village go and see him, and he is very mischievous. He takes away our clothes while we go in the river for bathing, and then he troubles us with all sorts of things, and he steals our milk, curd and other things, butter and all that. And so he's quite a bit of a troublemaker, but everybody over in the village is enchanted by him, all the gopis. So once in a while he plays a flute, and we go and see him at night. So once so happened that at night Indumati heard a flute sound, and it was so enchanting that once for a while she went into a trance, and she was standing in the porch area, you can see the angan in the house, and then when she was standing there, she saw Chandrika, and she was all decked up with all the makeup and everything, and garland. She was wearing jasmine garland and all the like kajal in her eyes and everything. She was completely made up, and with all makeup and everything, and she was looking into the blind, I mean like looking blindly somewhere. And when she was listening to the flute, and she was like completely in a trance, and she ran towards the door and she left. This was quite surprising for Indumati, and because Indumati thought that maybe this person is not an avatar, the way Chandrika told about him that he is so mischievous. She was like, it is not possible that he is avatar. But the flute was really putting her in some trance. But that scene where Chandrika totally missed Indumati standing in middle of the veranda. She missed her and she just left the door, and so Indumati went in and saw her husband was sleeping, fast asleep, as if somebody has drugged him and he was sleeping. So only Chandrika left and nobody knew about it except for Indumati. But Indumati tried to control herself and she was like, I will not go. I will not follow that sound, and I am a Rishiputri. I have mastery and control over myself. I will not fall for this. And she tried doing meditation, and when she started meditating, that flute sound was, coming from her heart. And it was she kept meditating on it, and it was like that was not coming from outside. That figure was dancing within her heart, and the flute sound was coming from within. But she controlled herself and she fell asleep. But that way she kept ignoring it. And but one day she went to fetch water in the morning, because she learned all household chores and she was helping Chandrika with everything. So she went in early morning when it was dark to fetch water. She felt like somebody is standing behind, and she was scared. But suddenly she realized that this person was the same person. This was Krishna. And he was such a handsome figure, and the most enchanting part about him that Indumati felt was his smile. It was maybe I don't have correct word, my vocabulary is not that good, but it was something that she had never seen before. I mean, like his face, his smile was the best thing that she had seen in her entire life. And so he said that Rishiputri, I mean, like he was teasing her that you were so rigid with your bows and all that my flute you didn't pay attention. So he was like, today is a full moon night, you should come, I will wait for you. And that was all. She was completely, mesmerized or taken away with that, I mean, like she was totally agreeable with whatever he was saying. Okay, I will come. And so she didn't say that, but she meant it. I mean, then she went back home and she told Chandrika about it, that he told me to come. So she was like, okay, she was very excited, Chandrika. She was like, okay, let me dress you up and do everything. And she did all the makeup and put jasmine garland and nice dress and everything, kajal and all, and makeup, everything. And she got her ready for the evening. And then finally she and Chandrika left for the jungles where this flute sound was coming, and there came an area when Indumati was alone by herself. And then Lord Krishna came, and he just teased her again about being Rishiputri and so rigid about her vows and everything. And then he made her comfortable. He asked her to sit, and he said, I have something very important to tell you. It is all your past karma that you have come to meet me, and I have met you over here, and you have a purpose that you have to. He gave some address of some ashram, and he told her that you should leave as soon as possible to that ashram and learn more warfare techniques over there. And there will be, after some time, there will be a war in the Kurukshetra, and you have to join that war, and you have to fight from the Pandavas' side. And when your last moment will come, I will be there for you once you are leaving the body. And in the future, you will be born again after some time as a king in a desert area of the country. You will be the king of that area, and then you will find a guru who is an image of me, that will guide you in your spiritual growth. So this is how she was told, and she agreed to it. And then next day she left the house and she went for that ashram, and then she learned all what she could. And then there was a time when this Kurukshetra war happened, and she joined the Pandavas' side in the form of a male. She was told that you join the army dressing up as a male. She dressed up as a male, and she was a very efficient warrior, and many of the Kuru army men were fallen to her arrows and her archery skills. She was really good at it, but she was shot by one of the arrows by, I think, check, by Ashwathama's arrow. And so when she was dying, she was her soul was departing. At that time, Krishna came, and she hold her hand, and seeing his face, she left. As promised, he came. So this is a wonderful story of a past. It gives a glimpse, and it gives some unknown aspect about Lord Krishna. I mean, this is I feel it is so beautiful, and so I wanted to share with everyone. And let me know your thoughts. And also, if you are interested to read, there are many other great stories about this book. This is a Shri M. I have read it so many times, even the tag has gone. Shri M. It is the journey continues. Basically, there are two parts of this book. This is part 2, in which this story is, and you can go, and this is an autobiography of Shri M. And you will know a lot more about him, that why his name is Shri M, and what is his actual name, and the name given by his guru. There are many stories about him. He is the sweetest guru that you can ever find. The words that come out of his mouth are the most sweetest, and he never says anything that could hurt anybody. It is just like listening to a honey dripped music or something. That's how he talks. So you can watch his videos also if you want to. And so take care, and like, share and subscribe, and good day or good night, whatever it is there at your place. And take care, and bye.